Run It Back Nation, what is good? It is your boy DJ Eastwood, Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. As you can see, went a little bit classic with the layout. You know how I used to do it. Let me know your opinions on that. Just did that a couple minutes ago. I need something right here though. I need something right here. Let me know what I should put right here. All right. And hit the like button on the video. Give me 1,000 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you watch these shows and you're not subscribed. Because that is fraudulent behavior, and this is the no fraud zone. Sixers play the Lakers tonight, and we're going also classic vibes. We're getting back into the post-game live call-in shows. So right after the game, right here, hotline phone number, me giving my thoughts on what happened, you giving your thoughts on what happened. Tune in directly after the game for Sixers Lakers post-game live. So the injury update for the Philadelphia 76ers tonight is Jaden Springer's out with illness, and Kelly Oubre is still out with the fractured rib. On the Lakers side, LeBron James is questionable with an ankle or a calf strain, and Anthony Davis is probable. We'll see. If LeBron doesn't play, then here we go again with, having these games in the regular season that, you can't get the star players, and it's hard to draw interest, and it's hard to even be interested in the game if he doesn't play. Hopefully LeBron plays. Hopefully it's a good matchup. We'll have to stay tuned. Kelly Oubre still being out with the fractured rib is kind of what I wanted to talk about. How much do the Sixers miss Kelly Oubre? Me and Romp were talking about this on the post-game show a couple of nights ago. And, when you go back to the Sixers-Celtics last matchup that the Celtics won without Jaylen Brown, all you heard the whole broadcast was the Celtics are playing without Jaylen Brown. The Celtics came into Philadelphia and beat a good team at home without Jaylen Brown. And all they were talking about was without Jaylen Brown, which there's a thought out there. Sometimes it's my opinion too, that the Celtics are better without Jaylen Brown, because I just think Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, redundant, doesn't really make sense. And you paid him $300 million. Let's not go there. And Celtics fans always forget that we beat you completely healthy in the beginning of the season. You were completely healthy. We were completely healthy. The Sixers miss Kelly Oubre like crazy. And a lot of people overlook that. A lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people act like Kelly Oubre being out is kind of like, it's like Nicholas Batum being out, or even though we miss him when he's out too, or it's like Robert Covington being out, or it's like he's just this random everyday role player. And because he's been passed around certain NBA teams and, signed on a minimum deal this offseason. But if you look at what he did the first several games of the season for the Philadelphia 76ers, even though we didn't expect him to be that large of a part of the team, or that important to the team, or that big of an impact level player. We knew he was a wing that we hadn't had, the style of wing that we hadn't had. Shut up! The style of wing that we hadn't had for years. We knew he was that wing player that we hadn't had for years, but we had no idea he would impact the game the way that he's impacted it. And he impacted it so much in that first run of 5, 6, 7 games that he was a number 3 scorer on the squad. And him being the number 3 scorer on the squad and just fitting perfectly. And he was coming off the bench. He just provided such a spark of shot creation, athleticism, defense to offense, just getting steals, running fast breaks, the whole nine. He provided such a spark off the bench, and then suddenly that's gone, and nobody wants to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Then it's just the Celtics play without Jaylen Brown. Well, we played without a huge part of our team's success, at least in the first couple of games. Also, so yeah, we miss him like crazy. And really, for me, the most annoying part about the past couple of games is the Philadelphia 76ers fan base not acknowledging that we've been playing without Kelly Oubre, or when we were playing without Kelly Oubre and Nicholas Batum. Those were 2 huge role players since the Harden trade. Oubre in the beginning of the season, Nick Batum enters, and we get this other burst, and then all of a sudden we're playing without both of those, and all of the reactions were, oh my God, look at the bench scoring. Oh, this team, every year this team doesn't have a bench. We need bench help. We need a trade. We need bench help. We need a trade. I'm like, we're playing without guys. We have him on the roster. We're playing without him. Batum had the personal issues, and Kelly Oubre got hit by a car on a BMX bike. I guess that's what happened. Anyway, the fan base wants to talk about the bench and how bad the bench has been and how we're not deep enough and we need to make a move here, make a move here, make a move there. But in the beginning of the season, when we were looking great against the Bucks, 1-point loss, a couple, 3, 4, 5 dominant wins against lesser teams, and then the Celtics win fully healthy, we were looking great, and people were talking about how deep we were. So let's all just pump the brakes until we get Kelly Oubre back. And here you go, just a couple of minutes ago, Kelly Oubre Jr. continues to make progress while recovering from a fractured rib. 6 days after starting shooting drills, the 76ers small forward practiced with his teammates on Sunday. So Kelly Oubre practiced yesterday with the team. And on November 21st, Nick Nurse said that Kelly Oubre could be ready to play within a week. Today is, what's the date today? Today is the 27th. So 6 days ago, Nick Nurse said Kelly Oubre could play in a week. We're almost at a week. We didn't get an update really on what the ribs are like, if he's in pain doing shooting drills or anything like that. Still listed as out with the rib, but we're getting closer to that week that Nick Nurse said he might be able to return. And when Kelly Oubre returns, if he's 100%, I don't know why he would return if he's not 100%. When Kelly Oubre is 100% and he returns, then we can make then we can assess the team. Then we can give our honest opinions on what we see. We can't look at a team that's missing a major role player and say they're weak, they have no bench, they have no depth, they need help, they need to make a trade now, they need to make a Zach LaVine trade. I actually like what Rom said on that show, too, about Zach LaVine. He's like, Kelly Oubre has been our Zach LaVine, kind of. You know, if you're looking at it like you need a third scorer who can create, and when Maxey his shot is off or whatever it is, or certain parts of the game or lineups where he's not in, what have you, you need a player that can take the ball, create, shoot threes, get in the lane. Kelly Oubre has been playing that role. So on the Zach LaVine front, you got a guy on a minimum versus making a massive blockbuster trade, you know, for a guy on a 5-year, $9 billion contract. That's all I'm saying. Let's read the article from the Philadelphia Inquirer, and then I'm out of here. All right. Zoom me in, producer. Producer, zoom me in. Zoom me in. I thought I already have this, bro. Oh, you're going to charge me? Dude, I have a thing. Just had to sign in. I do pay $1 a month to read these to you guys, so you're welcome. Kelly Oubre Jr. participates in Sixers practice. Marcus Morris Sr. opens up about limited role. Here's the Kelly Oubre stuff. Kelly Oubre continues to make progress while recovering from a fractured rib. 6 days after starting shooting drills, the 76ers small forward practiced with his teammates on Sunday. We did do a few drills, not a lot, Nick Nurse said after practice. He continues to progress a little bit, but he was out there. Oubre participated in 5-on-0 drill that Nurse said he handled okay. That doesn't make me feel too great about it. It would have been nice if he said he handled it great. If Nick Nurse thinks he handled a 5-on-0 practice okay, then we could be looking at, you know, another week or two with this fractured rib, and fractured ribs can be tricky. The 27-year-old has not played since November 10th after reportedly being struck by a hit-and-run driver the following day. On Tuesday, the Sixers said Oubre would be reevaluated in a week. Nurse said there was a chance he could return during that time. On Sunday, Nurse said Oubre would not be available for Monday's game against the Lakers at the Wells Fargo Center. I think we're probably a little ways away yet, Nick Nurse said. So 21st, he says a week. Just, you know, him taking a guess, could be ready in a week. I don't think he's going to be ready by a week, would be the 28th. He's probably going to need another week or two, which sucks. So hold your opinions during these games. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers game, whatever other game, hold your opinions Wait till we get Oubre back before you start freaking out. Okay? Marcus Morris talked about adjusting, and this is, just a pointless right here because Marcus Morris Sr. is cooked. While Oubre is preparing to return, Marcus Morris Sr. is adjusting to an unfamiliar role. 6'8" forwards averaging 9 minutes a game. Yeah, he was averaging 27 a game for the Clippers. A lot of that was with Kawhi and Paul George out last season for 60 games, so does that really count? This comes after Morris, a 13-year veteran, was a key starter for his previous 5 teams: Clippers, Knicks, Celtics, Pistons, Suns. He says, whatever they ask me is what I'm going to do. If that's the case, then that's the case. Listen, my take on Morris Sr. is that he's just 34 years old, and he doesn't really move laterally at an NBA speed anymore. Every time he gets on the floor, he gets absolutely smoked. He can't stay in front of anybody one-on-one, and his rotations are too slow as far as team defense. He did have the game where, everybody kind of sucked, and he dropped 16. He was a leading scorer in that game, which tells you how bad they were in that game, how bad everyone was. Nice for him to hit some threes and rack up 16 points in that game, but I don't see that, continuing. Hey, if Morris Sr. proves me wrong, that's fine. It is a question right now among the fan base why he's out there. In the playback streams and other times we're talking about why is Morris Sr. out there. Part of it is that Nick Nurse doesn't have many options with missing Oubre. Jaden Springer not getting minutes recently is interesting because he's gotten minutes during the season now, and there's been a couple games where, he had 15, he had 20 minutes, he had some, I thought, solid performances in some of those games, and then he goes back to really no time. The last game we played against the Oklahoma City Thunder, which was, interesting, especially with SGA kind of dominating towards the end as far as getting in the paint consistently, even though the calls from the officials were a little bit ghostly, sending him to the line 6 times in 30 seconds. But it would have been nice, I think, to have Jaden Springer out there. I guess Nurse doesn't trust his offensive game too much, or we were already in the bonus and Springer gets called for a lot of fouls early on in his career. He's an aggressive defender, so maybe that's why he wasn't in there. We'll see if Jaden Springer plays tonight. We'll see if Marcus Morris proves me wrong, and Kelly Oubre is still out with a fractured rib, but he did practice with the team. Probably still a week or two away from playing. I'll see you guys post-game live tonight directly after the Sixers versus Lakers. Tune in. Subscribe, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Love you.